So I asked you guys in a poll, have you ever experienced some sort of drama, big or small, in Final Fantasy XIV? And here's what you guys answered. 13% said yes, a lot. 54% said a couple. 34% said never. 54% is pretty big for having a couple of drama here and there. And very normal, actually, in Final Fantasy XIV. So if you've been part of any sort of drama, don't be hard on yourself like there's something wrong with me. This is a social game. You're going to encounter many people in the game, and not everyone is going to get along. All right, so let's get to the juicy stuff and read the comments. Yep, hanging out at RP venues introduced me to a group of really messed up individuals that were basically online predators, working at clubs to get close to people and trying to con them into doing real-life sexual activities. Real-life sexual activities? That would require actually meeting them in person. How does that even happen? Called out one of them publicly and he took off back to Crystal NA faster than you can blink an eye. The creepy predators are from Crystal? That's my server. Oh my goodness. The most drama I have ever personally experienced in Final Fantasy XIV is my own internal drama of whether or not I finally have the balls to do right. You can do it, man. You can do it. Trust me, I understand how intimidating Party Finder can be, but just find one person to do it with you and you're good to go. And make sure to watch some videos, of course. I had an instance that basically split my FC of over 60 active people, log on at least once a week, in half because the FC leader lied to a member that was vital info and those who left. 90% of my friends left the FC and they all made their own. In hindsight, I should have left and gone with them. With me as second in command of the FC, I felt like I should just stay loyal since I was the one that basically invites new members, ones that actually at least participate in some discussions every once in a while. Tip, don't let loyalty blind you. Yeah, I mean, it was probably just a bad judgment on your part, like if you didn't realize it at first, but you know, the thing is you realize a little bit later, and that's okay. Sometimes it could have been a good thing that you stayed, and sometimes it could just be a bad thing, so. In general, I've met some interesting characters over the years. I jokingly refer to them as being part of my pantheon or hall of fame of weirdness. Creepy people who just won't go away. Situations not helped by Final Fantasy XIV's crappy blacklisting system. And I've also had literal in-game stalker who made disgusting RP advances towards my poor Lalafell. Oh my gosh! Dear Lalafell! No! And when it comes to good old-fashioned drama, it may be a coincidence, but the most frustrating drama I've encountered has been with older players. Specifically, 2 women who were 50 plus. Oh, I've only met like 1 girl in the game that's 50 plus. And it wasn't because she told me. She told my friend. My friend was like trying to date her. It didn't go down very well for them. It did at first, and then it didn't. Anyone who's played the game for long enough and truly tried to find social contacts and a nice social FC 100% has seen multiple dramas go down. Don't lie. There's drama kings and queens everywhere. Yes. And like I said, this game is a social game. You're going to run into it. You're going to see it and you're going to be like, ooh, thank God I can just like eat some popcorn and watch this and it's nothing to do with you. But sometimes there will be times where you are involved. And that's perfectly normal. It happens to a lot of people in Final Fantasy XIV. Drama, yes, but mostly good. One time I was in a dungeon, if I could remember, it was at Doma Castle. The 3 players were actually family. Father is the tank, mother is a healer, and the son is a DPS with me. They had the same last names. It was such an adorable and wholesome experience. Here's to them. Aww. Not drama at all, but this sounds like a great time. I have a niece who plays the game, and it's really cool that I get to play with her. And yeah, I know that makes me sound really old. It's just my older sister had a kid at a very young age. This is from Shadowcat. I've had some FC drama over the years. One of the reasons I'm still not in one currently is that there's inevitably drama and the game is meant to be my escape from drama, not more drama. True. The last one I was in broke up because the 2 FC leaders were dating, which I didn't know when I joined. As always happens, it ended badly. He kicked her out of the FC, talked some crap about her Some people complained he started booting them too. I just sighed and showed myself the door. Yeah, bad vibes there. Nothing you can do, like it just, everything will just tumble when you just see people fighting in the FC. Everyone's just gonna start leaving. Speaking of FC drama and stuff, that's kind of why I'm just chilling and taking my time to find the right FC for me. I'm definitely looking for an FC that's more raid focused. I want to do like Savages and the upcoming Ultimate. I'd love to do that. So yeah, just taking my time. I don't really think that there's a lot of options in Crystal Coral for me, but maybe I'll find one. This is from Ribby. I was in a static that vanished without a trace once. I had real life interfere with the raid schedule, and when I got back, I wasn't in the FC or raid Discord, and because I had a friend in the FC still, I found out that everyone who was in the raid group was no longer in the FC, and I still don't know exactly what happened. I have not looked for a static ever since because this was my second time having a static suddenly disband. Oh my goodness. Also, when Eureka Pagos was fresh, a bunch of people wiped to holy cow, and the people who survived refused to raise anybody who was on the ground and not in their party. So many people were furious about that, lol. One of them was streaming, and they got so much hate for their attitude about it. That's crazy that you've been in 2 statics that just suddenly disband, but it is also quite normal. I kind of feel guilty because one time I joined a static for like 2 weeks. I told them a week advance that I couldn't do it anymore with them. When I went back to check up on the static after I had left it, I saw that they just never finished P3S, which is the reason why I kind of left it, because I started to get busy and I really wanted to do P3S more in the party finder and not so much with the static anymore, because I felt like meeting up once or twice a week was just not really going anywhere, and I just felt like the group, we were gonna spend like weeks going through that path of just doing it a couple times a week. We were just not gonna ever clear it. So that's kind of why I chose to leave it and do Party Finder. But yeah, I did feel bad that I noticed that they never went further. They never cleared P3S. It's not that my position is really hard to fill. I'm a melee DPS, and I think like finding a person is pretty easy. So maybe it wasn't about me at all. Like maybe there was another reason why the static disbanded and stopped doing it. There's 8 people in a static. Sometimes a couple of people leave, and it could be a chain reaction for other players to leave also. Silver Obi says, I've only encountered drama within a dungeon. Silver Obi says, I've only encountered drama within a dungeon party, YP/YT stuff, and once regarding RP stuff in my years of playtime since 1.0. People that seem to find it a lot must have some kind of drama radar. You said you've only seen it in dungeons and some RP stuff. I could definitely see RP being a thing, totally, because I have this one friend. He was a couple with a girl, and they got with another couple and just had like one big foursome together. And because he said like pretty interesting and kinky things, the guy's girl ended up wanting to do more RP with my guy friend. And he told me the story, and I just found it like really funny. So yeah, I could see that being like a jealousy kind of case with some RP stuff going down. And for Silver, I think maybe you haven't experienced more drama yet, because I'm not sure if you're doing any Savages, but if you're ever in a party finder for Savages or in statics, you're definitely going to see more drama. Or maybe you just got really lucky and you're just part of an FC that has been pleasant for years. Aya says, the entire Heavensward was one huge drama for me. Lost lots of friends in the Dragon's War song. Aww, sorry to hear about that. Don't you just hate that when you lose friends in Final Fantasy XIV? It just feels so lonely, and you just want to stand there alone and be emo and just listen to your music. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. ZD says, almost all the drama stories involve statics and or raiding. That's true. I do have a couple of Final Fantasy XIV drama stories about statics and raiding now. Oni Gundam Seed says, I'm a Lalafell master race, and I've tanked for healers who refuse to heal a potato. Really? They just like hate? That's so racist. They don't like Lalafells in the game? Oh my god. That really sucks to like ruin actual gameplay just because of your race. So I had this one person I knew that every time they saw a Lalafell in Limsa Lominsa, they would kick them or punch them. That was just emoting. That's not like ruining someone's game experience. Well, I mean, technically it can be if they didn't like it happening a lot and it felt irritating for them. It can ruin their game experience. But like in an actual dungeon, if someone just chooses not to heal a Lalafell just because of their race, that's pretty sucky. You shouldn't do that. Miri Darkstar says, my most memorable was Praetorium Run, where a friend of mine made a comment and the character that it was aimed at was amused. But someone else in the group went on a full-blown rant. I don't even remember what the comment was, but it was relatively minor to the other 7 of us. That would have been quite entertaining to see, actually. Too bad you don't remember it. Fire Raid says, heard about some, never personally experienced, happy to keep it that way. Lucky you. Susie Haltman says, I have dealt with some drama in Final Fantasy XIV, but then seen a lot happen in the game too. And oh boy, it's usually the Hrothgar players that are the troublemakers or drama queens. Like, Jesus Christ, y'all. Y'all need some severe counseling. This is the first time I've heard someone ever mention a Hrothgar being the race that is the most dramatic in the game. From gaslighting, abuse, lies, emotional manipulation, IRL racism, and in-game racism to freaking false rape accusations. Oh no. Like, I don't know what goes on in the gay fury community to make this behavior acceptable. Like, run. Run if you see them, because it's usually trouble. Damn! Well, we know that Susie stays very, very far away from Hrothgars now. There is one Hrothgar in my shit list. And you know why? Because when we ran into each other on PvP, and we're supposedly friends in game, he BM'd me and teabagged me when he killed me. And then I kicked him from the Discord. I'm not really mad though. It was just funny. Jedi Master Pickle says, not really. Closest thing is that something happened to my old FC and it suddenly imploded and disbanded. Wasn't that close with anyone in particular in the FC, but I liked chatting with them. Discord went from super active to silent nearly overnight. People demolished their rooms at the FC house, FC chat went silent, then nothing. I suddenly wasn't in a free company anymore, so I trudged along solo for a bit, then transferred servers and joined my friend's FC. For me personally, if an FC doesn't work out for me, it's very hard to move servers because I feel like it's quite hard to leave all the people you know in a server behind. For example, like I'm in Crystal Coral, but if I go to Balmung, for me, that Limsa Lominsa is not the same Limsa Lominsa of what I'm used to. Like, I like seeing the regular people of Limsa Coral, and like, it would be really hard for me. Even if I had a friend in another data center or in another world under the same data center, definitely a little bit easier if I was moving within the same data center, but yeah, it is hard for me to just actually get up and go because I'm just so used to my Coral Limsa. Skia Drum, in my static where almost all of us were new to the Savage scene, a Sam joined. We had a few pulls of P1S and he proceeded to flame one other member about his damage and rotation and then left. He is in the same FC, and some weeks ago, he was saying that he is not happy with the FC because he is unable to find a static. Yes, as far as I know, he joined other statics and he never lasts more than one day. He either leaves or people tell him to go away. That just sounds like a toxic samurai player. Trust me, we're all not like that. I feel like I've encountered people from different jobs kind of like that sometimes. They come in all jobs. Birding Flag says, all of it pretty minor. The one that jumps to mind was a POTD run. We got to floor 50, and before teleporting, I asked, hey, have you guys fought the boss before? Shut up and zone. And have you fought the boss? I politely point out to the glowing red weapon on my back and reply, I could only get that if I beat the boss. Again, I get, shut up and zone. They died in seconds of the fight starting, leaving me to solo Edna. I solo the tower for fun, so no big deal. But if I'm with a group, I'm clearly not trying to solo anything. Then while still licking the floor, one of them chimes in, see, easy. So a minor but brief annoyance all the same. You get those people, man. Rubberman says, I've only been playing less than a year, and 2 FCs that I've been in imploded soon after I joined them coincidentally. I haven't joined an FC since due to the bad experience I've had so far. Aww. Take as long as you need to find the right FC for you. Find one that definitely suits your interests. That can help. Dante says, had a few in-game relationships break up and had my own FC stolen away from me. Few other minor ones, but they are the main. Your FC stolen away from you? How does that happen? Did everyone just side against you? Osiris says, someone spammed good game over and over during a CC match. I felt violated. Just kidding. Years of WoW made my skin way thicker than that. It was kind of annoying though. Yeah, I mean, spam of any kind is pretty annoying. I remember I was in a party finder for P3S and one guy was like, I personally thought it was spam because he sent like 3 messages in a row like asking stuff, and he already asked the question before those 3 messages, and I could tell that the party leader was still in the middle of answering his question. It's just like, chill. Like, if the party leader hasn't even replied to your first question yet, chill with the next few questions, please. He ended up coming into the voice because since we were all in Discord, he came in with an attitude actually, and I told him he was spamming a little bit, and he was just like, tomato, tomato. I don't even know what that has to do with spamming, but sure. Ryung says, only drama I've ever had was pretty funny. In Eden's Promise, I joined a static for prog of E12, and they were 7 IRL friends, leaving me as the odd woman out. But we got along pretty well. After a bit of raiding together, it was clear 2 to 3 of the friends weren't as good of players as the rest though, and would constantly mess up and cause wipes, etc. I wasn't upset about it because they were fun to be around, but the leader of the group just had enough one day and absolutely exploded on them and kicked them out of the static. I haven't talked to any of them since because it was so awkward, and as far as I'm aware, they aren't really a friend group anymore. Aww. I think that's why there's like a difference between like mid-core groups and hardcore groups. Hardcore groups are like a group of like players that will be in the static, and they're just there to do business, man. They're just like, they're all quiet. They only talk about mechanics or like very game related serious stuff. Nothing else. No banter, no laughing, no cracking jokes. And then there's like the mid-core group that you'll get like some people just like cracking jokes here and there. And if you guys are if you guys are like a tight-knit group of friends, then that's totally fine. You feel comfortable that you could like say anything. But yeah, it just depends like what you like out of the two. I know like I have this one friend, he would only do like mid-core because he doesn't like the too serious. There are some people who really don't like the serious tryhards. And then there's some tryhards who just don't like mid-core people. Gotta find the right group of people. The Frantic. I had a tank top. Oh. I had a tank stop the Toto Rack dungeon right before the boss for 5 minutes to lecture me about how limit breaks aren't supposed to be used on trash, and that I was just wasting everyone's time because they couldn't kill the final boss faster. It sucks that he had to lecture you about it. He should have just told you like, yeah, you're supposed to save that for the boss. You could have said it in a nice way. Chris Husted says, it's a social game. I think everyone will experience some form of drama eventually. Exactly. Night Striker says, I did. It was back in an old FC I used to be part of. To put it simply, they didn't get what they wanted and it got nasty. Thankfully, I left before it got out of control, but a friend of mine stayed and told me what transpired. Shortly after it, my friend left the FC too. Oh. We don't know much details about it, but normal FC things breaking up. Enigmatic Shadow says, the biggest drama I've had wasn't FCs. It's an interesting one. Why didn't you say more? Please send me the story so I can, you know, make a video for the FF14 drama series. Mondo says, it's a social game. There's always bound to be drama. Harley Mabry says, the monk in our static didn't have True Strike on his bar because he didn't want to add another button to push. He said he was already comfortable just using Twin Snakes. And what's 20 potency really? We had to have an intervention because we were wiping sub 1% and it was incredibly demoralizing to be wiping because of a stubborn refusal to learn job basics. Then there was the aggressively far-right nut job harassing everyone in the FC. She's gone, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. There are definitely going to be players that don't know how to play their job well, but if people are already telling them about the one thing that they need to learn. It sucks that they weren't willing to improve or get better. Soldier or something. Oh my god, look at this picture. Just some FC members had a meltdown over real life drama, so I had to cheer them up to get their spirits up. Oh, that's really nice of you. RXT Sang says, there was some drama in my FC when I joined. I was like, what the hell is going on? Then a lot of people left and then no more drama. Honestly, I don't care what happened or why there was drama, but it was confusing at first. Pretzel Lover says, when it happens, it's always FCs imploding. Danilo says, for me, it was people telling lies, half-truths, and backstabs because they want to ERP all the time, and they lack the respect for others. If people knew that behind the character there is a person who has feelings and emotions, and your acts can make people happy or sad, most problems wouldn't exist. It's probably a lot easier to have drama online than it is IRL. Because in IRL, there's probably like half the things you probably wouldn't even say. That would like cut out a lot of stuff that you just don't feel comfortable to say out loud already. Cushion Productions. Never, because I'm a solo player in solo FC. Oh my god. Oh, it sounds so lonely. Hit. Honestly, where there are people, there's always drama in some form or another. It's just human thing. Definitely. Inkunzi says, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Savage statics on fire off the shoulder of Limsa. I watched free companies glitter in the dark near the Ascensor Gate. All these moments will be lost like tears in the rain. Codex says, constantly, I get queued up with guys that boost up their jobs and don't even know how they work. A party of 3 blamed me, a healer, for not healing properly when their tank said that he didn't put stance on his bar because he didn't have space. So I'm out here on Hero's Gauntlet, fishing the gear with a bunch of crazy people. I've been banned on 3 different accounts due to this specific reason. I don't have the patience to babysit. For once, I'm glad I quit FF. Oh my god, that made him quit? He sounds pretty angry. Please refrain from using the R word, man. Black Ninja. I'm barely new, but since I'm on PS5, typing is a struggle. I honestly don't know how the PlayStation players do it, but they do it. I know someone who plays on PS5 with one hand. He uses his palm and his fingers, and then, like, that's a skill right there. I don't know how he does it, but that's a skill. Karina E. Diaz says, never actually. I just play a couple hours a night. I don't belong at any FC or group chat. That's a good way to dodge it, you know, just playing for a couple hours a day, not in an FC, not really talking to anyone, and just doing your relaxing solo grind. Lycon says, honestly, the only drama I ever personally experienced in Final Fantasy XIV was with myself pushing my roommate to play the game, which apparently turned them off from playing the game. That definitely happens. I've known a couple of people who try to get, like, all their friends to play to the point that it was like almost forcing them, and I was just telling them, no, chill, like tell them how much you love the game, and that's it. Then maybe they'll join, or like they'll be like, why do you like it? And then you explain why you like it, and if they want to play, they want to play. Don't ever like force them to download it. To this day, I still feel really bad about it because in my excitement to have them enjoy the game, I was overzealous with my behavior, and now they may never experience the awesomeness that is the Final Fantasy XIV storyline, as they are still somewhat in Heavensward. Thankfully, the friends of my roommate who actually got me into the game still play it off and on, come back to the game fairly regularly nowadays. So they are fully caught up with the story and a good chunk of the additional content. I don't push my roommate to play games at all anymore because of this, and instead I'm hopeful that our mutual friends will eventually get them to come back to the game and push through the story, but it seems like they're into other games now, so that's not very likely. Yeah, that's what I noticed with Final Fantasy. Like, trying to get any gamer these days to play the game, it's kind of hard to make them go through the old content, because the old content was really good for like back then, but it's hard to get like gamers these days, the new gamers, to like enjoy that old content unless they're really into like the story. And there are gamers out there who really like story games, so those are like the kind of people that could possibly get into Final Fantasy, or they just like love MMOs or have played WoW in the past, stuff like that. I have this one friend, I made her download the game, and I know she doesn't care about the story, so it's gonna be basically a lot of running around back and forth and just doing quests, and that doesn't really seem that fun, huh? Like, you're just like basically doing errands in the game. Some people find that relaxing, but if they don't find it fun or relaxing, then it's gonna be hard for them to progress even more. Nothing worth remembering or talking about. FC drama. Yes. A lot of people have been saying FC drama. Like, that's winning right now. Lazy Man says, I'm just having drama because one ex-member is, let's say, not Bane healthy. Does he mean brain healthy? And she was always me. And she doesn't give up me and my FC leader having trouble with her. Oh boy. I've run into a me kind of person. Isaac, not yet. Lucky so far. Game Master says, just one. Didn't like someone advert runs in FC. Guess who was the one who got kicked? What annoying the FC is still around all these years and I'm the one having trouble keeping. Ampliffy says that FC only lasts this long because they are echo chamber. Am I not like understanding this conversation right now? I am so confused. But yeah, there you have it. Those are everyone's replies, and thank you. I appreciate all your comments. I loved reading every single one. If you guys have any cool ideas for future polls, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.